Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the book of Job, chapters 1 through 7. I'm not going to read all that, but I'm just going to give you an overview of it. We all know exactly who Job is. He was a servant of God. And for me, I never just read the whole full book of Job until now, and I'll be studying it probably for the next 3 weeks. Um, how I study, first of all, I do pray before I study, and I read my New King James Version or the NIV, and then I go to my commentary and my Bible dictionary, and I combine all of it, and I just write notes. And I'm asking God, like, what is it I can take away from this? Because I don't want to just study it and not show myself approved, you know what I'm saying? Or what is it I can apply to my life? And I'm sure everybody can apply Job to our lives. So I like to get in the character and try to feel what he was feeling. Um, that's a thing of mine, like when I'm praying, and especially with other people, it's something to pray for somebody, but it's something else to actually know what they're feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put my feelings in it. So with Job, that is what I'm doing, trying to really understand it, because we all have problems, but we don't all know how to deal with them. And me, I'm one of them, especially at one point with the frustration. I'm better with the frustration, but things come up. So I'm gonna give you an overview of Job chapters 1 through 7. And Job was a man with integrity who feared God and turned away from evil. He was wealthy. He had 10 kids. He had livestock, and he was a priest, spiritual leader. I think he was pretty much a well-off man living comfortable. Well, he was wealthy, so he was way beyond comfortable. And one day the angels went to present themselves to the Lord, and Satan came along. He was roaming the earth looking for somebody to devour. God said, "Have you considered my servant Job?" For one, everything is not just from Satan. Most things God allow to come into your life, even if it is from Satan, most things God allow to come into your life for a reason. Now, some of the sins and some of the things that you do, you allow it on your own. You know what I'm saying? Because every action that you have has a consequence, and um, that comes along with it. Like, you can't go to the store and steal, and then the police come and lock you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, every action has a reaction. So God knew that Job would give in. God knew that Job wouldn't give in as far as cursing him or blaming him or really just downright complaining. Some of us get in situations, and I have experienced, not for my own self, but I have experienced that some people get in situations and blame God or curse God. I have seen that happen. And I was applauded, because there's no way there's nothing on this earth I would do and that I'm a curse God. There's nothing. Um, so that was a lesson also. God knew that Job wouldn't give in, but Satan thought he could change that. God gave instructions to Satan to allow him to be tested and trial, but you couldn't lay a hand on him. So Job ended up being tested. His kids died. He lost his livestock, he lost his wealth, but and then Satan put some kind of painful boils on his body. Job was devastated and fell to his knees. Of course, like I said, he wasn't complaining. What he ended up doing is falling to his knees and praying to God, worshiping, doing all that. It was one thing after another for Job. Just like us, it be one thing after another for us. And it does put us in a place where we're frustrated, where we just get tired and weary or overwhelmed. But instead of us, I had to learn this too, and I'm still learning. Instead of us complaining and getting overwhelmed and weary, we need to do like Job did. He fell to his knees and worshiped. It doesn't say that he wasn't frustrated. During his praying, he still was frustrated. During his worship, he still was frustrated. But then he still did it. Okay, so Job also had friends. Don't we have friends? Job had 3 friends that came to visit him. And some of this I may be paraphrasing, but Job had friends that came and visit him. And while he's going through all this situation, his friends come and visit. They didn't say too much or nothing. They just sat there in his comfort, in his presence while he's going through. So one of his friends end up speaking. But his friend does not speak in the behalf of knowing who his friend is. Now, his friend knew that he was a man of integrity, that he loved God. And it's not that Job didn't sin, but he really didn't sin. He sinned, but he really didn't sin. You know, he was a servant of God. That's why I say you have to go back and read it, because I'm telling it to you, but at the same time, you have to go back and read it. So his friend ended up talking to him, speaking, but he wasn't speaking to me. He wasn't speaking the right things. He wasn't speaking the comfort. What he was saying was to Job is, look, man, I know you sinned, and if you did sin, you need to confess it to God. So this can be pretty much done and over with. And not even just only that, I had another one when Job also had a wife, and that was Job 2 and 9. And that's why I said some of it, I was going to allow a scripture to be heard. Now, Job 2 and 9 says, his wife said to him, are you still holding on to your integrity? Curse God and die. Now, this is in chapter 2. Right when Satan placed the boils on Job. I could imagine that the boys hurt. We know that they hurt. They probably was itchy, because right here it says, then Job took a piece of broken pottery and scraped himself with it as he sat among the ashes. His wife said to him, are you still holding on to your integrity? Curse God and die. And that's Job chapter 2. Okay, Job chapter 2 and 9. 2 and 9. This is what I want to say about that. Sometimes it's your own family. It's one of your own that will tell you to do something that you know isn't right, or in your heart you know that, okay, I know that this is from God, and somebody else could be telling you something different. But Job didn't listen to his wife. Why didn't he listen to his wife? Because Job knew in his heart he couldn't curse God and die. You couldn't do that. He had integrity. He feared God. He feared God. So even with Job's friends, when his friends started speaking out and saying, oh, you must have sinned, this and that and the third, Job really didn't have much to say, because he never cursed God. He did nothing wrong. So how is this happening to a person that did nothing wrong? So right here it says, Job's friends came by, didn't say much, but sat there with him while he was going through the situation. But one of his friends ended up talking and saying to Job that he had to do something. like sin, in order for this to be happening to him, and wanted him to confess his sin and that he deserved whatever is coming his way because he sinned. Now, in response to Job, Job responds to that, if I sinned, tell me, what did I do? So in response to that, in the next chapter, Job asks his friend, like, if I sinned, what did I do? I'm pretty sure if Job did sin, he would fix it, but Job didn't sin. And here it is, your friend telling you what you did when you know you didn't do it. So he's asking him, what did I do? I'm not going to lie to you. That's what he was saying. I'm not going to lie to you. So if you tell me what I did, I would tell you if I did it. So with that being said, you just have to really be careful about your company you keep and your friends. And that too, I'm learning. You just got to be careful about the people in your circle, because if your friends don't know what you stand for, who you are, and when something comes up like a situation, but yet your friend draws assumptions that you did do something in order to deserve it, your friend should know that you should know you. Whether it's good or bad, your friend should know you. Okay, so Job was in a deep despair, of course, frustrated, and he had friends, but at the same time, he didn't have friends. So Job started seeing his situation as hopeless, and his friend had added more frustration to him by talking about nothing. He wasn't comforting him. Sometimes, even if you're sitting in silence, sometimes being comforted will it's better than sitting in silence, especially if I'm with my close friend and I'm going through all this. I lost my children. So I know that's frustrating. I know that's a hurtful pain. That's a void only God can fill and heal. So Job got into a funk. He was miserable, hopeless, and had an emptiness about life, as we all do. When we're going through something, I know for me, and when I say we, I mean me, because I'm we. So when you have situation after situation, issue after issue, and you never can see the light, like the other day when I was in my funk, we just get tired. Like, God, when? Like, what is going on? You just get tired. So I took from that with Job and his character, what's going on here. He's just like me and you. Some of us, me personally with my walk, I have been going through forever. Forever. So I have to hold on to my hope, because I'm looking at it, well, when God do deliver me and free me and get me to where he needs me to be, it's got to be glorious, because for years, and not even just that, it's almost like from the day that I was born. So he wasn't certain that he was certain. Okay, so Job got to this point where he was hopeless, he was miserable, and he was certain that he was going to die, and he also wanted God to end his life. And I know many of us have been there with stress, and depending what's going on in your life, we just like, God, you know what, when? All right, let me just get in this car and drive off the cliff somewhere. Not doing it now. But life is tough. Life is tough, even if you're walking with God. So I know life is tougher if you're not walking with him, because you're not going to have that peace. Now that I'm still living life, it's not like it's changed overnight. I ain't hit the lottery, or I'm not in my purpose because I'm still working a dead end job. I'm still living in an apartment. You know what I'm saying? I'm more aware of my purpose now, and while I'm going through all this extra stuff, I have a peace with it because I'm walking with God now. So Job get to the point where Job asks God, what have I done? He doesn't know why God would allow so much pain on a person for no apparent reason. And that scripture is Job 6:17 through 21. When I seen that, that is the main reason of the whole video. Just that one. Job asked God, what have I done? I don't know if you've been there, but I know from me and mine, I have been there. I have been to a place so low, and I'm thinking I'm getting it right, but it seemed like it's not getting right. Or situation after situation after situation, and it's like I can't catch a break. Whether it's on the outside of me or whether it's on my internal self, just feel like I can't get it right. So, what is it, or what is it for you to do when you get to that place of, God, what have I done? I would advise you to read Job and then get a commentary Bible so you can so it can teach you exactly what it's saying for those 7 chapters. And my take on it is this: God allowed Satan to test Job and took everything away from him. And we know how that feels as humans. Then you have a wife that says, curse God and die. But you can't do that. You have no choice but to continue to praise him. But then you got 3 friends and one of them that spoke out. You're not really confiding in them. You're just sitting. But whenever when one of your friends do speak out, they're not saying anything that's pleasing. They're telling you, God isn't going to do this for no reason. What have you done? But you know in your mind and heart, I done nothing. So then you get to a place where, okay, I'm really frustrated. I'm really weary. I'm really tired. So what do I do? God, go ahead and just take my life. Because you're not going to take your own life. Or, well, I'm hoping not. You just continue to go through the process, please. But that's where Job was. So his last option right here in Job 6:17 through 21 is, God, what have I done? And that's what we should be doing. It's not so much of what we have done, because we know Job did nothing. But what we do know is God allowed Satan to test Job, because Satan thought if he take away Job's wealth, kids, materialistic stuff, and everything about him, that he would curse God, that he would walk away from God. And that wasn't the case. So do you not think in some of your situations, you have to look at it like, okay, I may be getting tested like Job. So now what do I need to do? Me, I would go back and I would ask God, am I off the track that you want me on? Or am I doing something that you don't want me to do? Or am I not doing something that you want me to do? Or it could just be a simple test to test my character, to see what I'm built though, what my faith at. And it's really good, because then if he take all this stuff away from you and you still praising him and you still have faith and you still smiling and you still praising God, we know it's not for materialistic stuff and it's not what God can do. It's because you really do love God and you're committed to him and walking with him. So for me, what I take from Job chapter 1 through 7 is no matter what I'm going through right now, up or down, but really when I'm down, I have to really make sure that I'm intentional about praising God. I have to make sure that I'm really intentional about opening my Bible when I don't feel like it and things are going crazy on the outside as well as the inside. Pay attention to your circle. Who's feeding you? And what are they feeding you? Limit your conversation. Limit your conversation. But as a person that knows what it feels like to suffer for so long and to, let me tell you this, from where I'm coming from and what my mind used to be once I, after I went to jail and stuff, it was just like, okay, I'm done with everything. But here's the thing. During this course of learning God and learning how to work for a paycheck and not just having, you know, most of my boyfriends or whatever, especially my ex, it'll be easy for you to, I used to think in my head, God, you know what, this is so hard. The money situation, paycheck to paycheck. It'll be easier for me to just date and maybe marry this person, but making sure that this person has money. Whether it was, for me, it was, I don't even know how to say it. For me, it was drug boys. You know what I'm saying? Or men. Just that whole street lifestyle. Yes. Back then, it would have been easier. It would have been easier. But once I started walking with God more, I got a peace. I found who I am. He's been taking care of me. And we good. So don't get yourself in a situation that you pray to get you out of. I don't even know if I so much just, I think once I got locked up, it just was like, first of all, I'm not leaving my daughter. And I think that was just God's way of having me out. Whether it was good or bad, it was my way of having me out. Once the charges got dropped, I think I went to court like a year and a half for it. And by God, yes, I was scared. But still, you know, that was life back then. And a few years after that, it just got to the point where, yeah, it's just easier to drop this and go back to what I know. But that's not easier. I would rather suffer for God and live this life for Him because He's making me become who He already created me to be. I just now walking into what is already done. So for Job, and I'm hoping that you can get what I'm saying and explaining it right. And if not, you can always comment below and ask. But that is all that I have for you today. I am going to put the scriptures up, but what I take from it was Job chapter 2 and 9. Job chapter 5 and 17. I didn't say this one. Blessed is the man who God corrects. So do not despise the discipline of the mighty. And Job 6 and 14. And Job 6, 24 and 25. And Job 7, 19 and 20. Those are the scriptures that stuck out to me. Read it. Google what it means. Words that you don't know. Write it down. Dictionary. and get your understanding up. But that is all. Until next time, I'm hoping y'all have a great day and stay home. I'm hoping it's not open back up yet, but just stay safe. Stay safe and go through Job chapter 1 through 7. And until next time, have a great day. Bye.